Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Purpose Driven Life Sports, and I'm back here for an NBA video. So, Friday night, last night, we had two great games. We had the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Boston Celtics, and then we had the Portland Trailblazers versus the Denver Nuggets. Now, the Denver Nuggets game with the Portland Trailblazers, that was really something. We'll get to that game in a second, but first, I want to talk first about the Bucks Celtics game. Now, once again, I was wrong with my pick. I'm really getting sick. I'm getting sick and tired of picking the wrong team. I think it's just my view on. I think I'm probably judging it too much more on talent than what I really should be seeing. But like I said yesterday, both teams were going to make a lot of threes. That's what I predicted. I predicted both teams were going to shoot the ball very well. Milwaukee shot the ball better, not percentage-wise from three, because Boston also made 40% of their threes. They both hit at least 15. Boston had 16. Milwaukee had 15 threes. The difference was that Milwaukee was more efficient from the field, shooting over 50%, and then Boston only shot 44% from the field. So that means Milwaukee made a higher percentage of their shots, which means which everybody knows you get more points when you shoot more efficient, but you get more opportunities when you are more efficient. And even though I thought Kyrie would have a big game, which he did have 26, most of his points actually came from the free throw line when he shot 11 of 12. So besides that, I think he shot 2 of 7 from 3. He wasn't very efficient from the field, as a matter of fact. So that did hurt the team, I believe, to a certain degree, because when he's not knocking out his mid-range shots, not finishing at the rim, because that's his game, is him getting to the rim or him knocking down mid-range shots. That's what Kyrie's really good at. So when he's missing those type of shots, that kind of does hurt the team. Jason Tatum scored 20 points. So, to me, this was a good game for him to gain some confidence. I said yesterday he should play more with Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward also at 14. Them playing together, to me, would actually help them further in the series, like I said, because them scoring together, them on the floor together, having two good scoring options, that creates confidence for Jason Tatum, and I think also for Gordon Hayward going down the stretch of the series. Now, Milwaukee's up 2-1. Giannis did have another 30-point game. He had over 10 rebounds again, had about over 5 assists. So, to me, Giannis is back to doing his thing. I think in Game 1, they really walled off the paint. And in the last two games, it seems that the Celtics have gotten away from that. And I think another reason why is that I see Milwaukee doing a lot of pick-and-roll type stuff or posting up Kyrie Irving, which is definitely going to help them, especially Giannis get shots at the rim. So they're actually doing a great job of getting what they want in terms of shots. You know what I'm saying? So, am I really surprised that Milwaukee won? Not really. I did not pick them to win, but I'm not surprised that they won, because to me they're executing better than Boston is right now. And Mike Budenholzer, the coach of the Bucks, is actually making sure that they're looking at these matchups and taking advantage of that. So even though I think Boston is more talented, Milwaukee is just executing better, and they're still making a higher percentage of their shots. That's why they had the best record in the league, is because they executed so well this year in the regular season. And in these last two games, we're seeing that when they execute, they are a tough team to beat. So my thoughts going for the rest of the series, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know how much I believe anymore. After what I saw with Toronto, I don't know if I believe Toronto too much anymore. Boston is getting down to the point where if they lose the next game, I don't know if I trust Boston either. That means Kyrie's probably out the door if the Boston Celtics lose in 5 games. So the Celtics, can come back and they can win the series. It just comes down to they have to shoot better from the field and make a higher percentage of their looks. I think we focus a lot on the three-point shot and being efficient from there, which is very true. But also, if you're shooting at least, to me, 48% from the field, making almost half of your shots, then to me you have a higher percentage chance of winning. So I think Boston's got to get back to that as well. Now on to the Blazers and Nuggets game. That game was very exciting. There was a point which I was going to turn it off because I don't watch a lot of overtime games, but the fact that it got to 3 overtimes and 4 overtimes, that game was really fun to watch. Both teams were getting up and down. There wasn't a lot of defense played, so Dame Lillard didn't particularly have a great game either. It was really CJ McCollum in the fourth quarter really stepped up for this team. Enes Kanter was playing through pain. He played about 53 minutes. CJ McCollum played 62 minutes, I believe. Damian Lillard played over 60 minutes as well. Nikola Jokic actually had a great game. He wasn't very in the overtime period. He wasn't didn't look like himself too much. Looked like he was actually getting very tired, fatigued, which for big men happens as the game goes on later. My thing, I've always thought this about big men is that, and especially Nikola Jokic, it looks like he has not trying to say he's fat or anything. It looks like he has a lot of baby fat on him. Because, when you see him playing, you see not saying it, I'm not calling him fat. I'm just saying it looks like he has a little baby fat on him. I think this summer, whatever happens, even if he continues to go to the conference finals, I think for the summer, for his offseason, he should look to build more muscle and get better conditioning, because I think for big men, that's also a big part of the game, is that if big men are in better condition, which means conditioning, running, in better shape, and then they're building muscle, you see guys like Giannis, even though to me he was already in shape when he came into the league, but when you put on 40 pounds of muscle like he did, and then you're working in the offseason on your jump shot, which Nikola Jokic did, not only is he a great post player, he can shoot the three ball, he's a great rebounder, he's a great passer. He's also a great free throw shooter, don't forget that. If he worked on his conditioning, to me, that would take him to another level. Him being faster than big men, him getting up and down the court, that'd be actually really fun to see, because he's already good at that. I think he's already in tremendous shape for a guy his size, but for him to take that to the next level would be, I think, extremely good for him. Jamal Murray played a good game. What happens with Jamal Murray, like I've said at the beginning of the series and beginning of the playoffs, is that he's not a great defender. So what I saw a lot of last night was Rodney Hood or guys like CJ McCollum taking advantage of him in either the screen and roll or just Rodney Hood posting him up at the basket. That's going to be tough for Denver because he's a great scorer on the court, so you have to have him on the floor. But at times it becomes a liability because he's so easy to pick apart on the defensive end. So they've got that part. Denver has to really kind of figure out what to do. A lot of teams usually do this pick and roll with Steph Curry where they try to get him on the primary ball handler, but what you see Steph Curry do is he kind of tags the guy and then goes back to his man. And he's been doing that in the Houston series, which I'm going to talk about in the next video because that game's coming up tonight. It's going to be a great game. They've got to find a way to make sure that they can't keep getting Jamal Murray to me in the pick and roll. And if they can find a way to make sure that he's not getting isolated so much, which can make you tired offensively, that can, to me, help them change the series. Because to me, Portland winning a game like that last night, 140 to 137, taking a 2-1 lead, that's great for them. CJ McCollum getting buckets. You got Rodney Hood, who came into the game, really kind of took over in the last overtime. Played great for them last night. So the bench played a pretty good role. Enes Kanter is going to need some rest. He got elbowed in his bad shoulder by Nikola Jokic. I don't know. I don't call Nikola Jokic a dirty player. That's a questionable play to make, especially on a guy who has a separated shoulder. You don't usually do that. So, remains to be seen, but that makes me even more confident in Portland after what they did last night. Just being able to, they could have easily given up or in one overtime just kind of laid down, but they just kept fighting. Denver kept fighting. Both teams really played hard. I'm really impressed with both teams. That was such a great game to watch. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. So, a review, I'm picking the Celtics to still win this series. If they lose the next game, though, to me, it will be over because Milwaukee, to me, has found their shooting, and that's not. It's tough to defend a team that's kind of got their confidence from behind the three-point line, but so does Boston to me. So if they can just be more efficient, Boston can actually come back and win the series. And then Denver's got to shore up their defense with Jamal Murray, and Portland's just got to keep doing what they're doing, which is making shots, having Rodney Hood be a part of their offense, which has been great. And then Enes Kanter's played so well, played through injuries, so that's been good for them. Got to make sure that Damian Lillard gets hot, and I think he will in the next game because they're at home. But once again, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys again in the next video.